Chewing gum dates back to the ancient Greeks who chewed resin from trees. Modern chewing gum was patented in the U.S. in 1869 by, believe it or not, a dentist. In 1928, another American invented bubble gum. Bubble gum comes in gumballs of all colors and sizes. But for blowing bubbles, nothing beats the chewy, gooey pink stuff in the twist wrap. It all starts with a gum base, the stuff that makes gum chewy. Traditionally, the base came from tree resin. Today, it's synthetic, made of plastics and rubbers. They pour the gum base into a mixer. Then add color and flavoring. As it begins mixing, they pour in glucose syrup, a sweetener. Because it's liquid, it helps keep the gum base soft. Next, they add dextrose, a powdered sweetener. They blend the ingredients for about 20 minutes. The stirring action builds up heat, which melts everything together. The mixture's ready when it reaches the consistency of bread dough. They transfer it by cart to a machine called the pre-extruder. The machine squeezes the mixture through a narrow opening, like squeezing toothpaste from the tube. This transforms the big, bulky wad into thin, manageable strips that can then go through the extruders. The extruders squeeze each strip down to the actual width of a piece of bubble gum. It comes out as one long, continuous stream to be cut into bite-sized pieces later on. This extrusion process heats up the gum. If they were to cut and wrap it now, it would stick to the wrapper. So the next stop is a cooling chamber. The gum goes in for 15 minutes at between 3 to 7 degrees Celsius. When the bubble gum comes out, it's cooled down enough for what they call the cut and wrap. One machine does both jobs in a fraction of a second. Watch the action in slow motion. As the continuous stream of gum enters on one end, the machine cuts it into bite-sized pieces, pushes each piece into a wax paper wrapper, then twists both ends of the wrapper closed. Here's the slow motion replay from a different angle. The machine processes 900 pieces of bubble gum per minute. Last stop, packaging. The bubble gum moves on to a scale that automatically weighs out the right amount per tub. They seal the tub with plastic to make it airtight. This keeps the bubble gum fresh. Ever wonder why bubble gum is pink? It's because that's the only color Walter Deemer had on hand when he invented this treat back in 1928. Since then, the color just stuck. What's a holiday celebration without fireworks? Brilliant colors exploding in the air, the oohs and ahs they elicit on the ground. Fireworks are so high-tech these days, it's easy to forget they're not a modern invention. Historians believe gunpowder, the explosive ingredient in fireworks, was invented in China around 1000 AD. It's said that in a famous battle, the Chinese emperor illuminated the sky with it, scaring away the enemy. During the Renaissance, the Europeans invented the type of fireworks we know today. Modern pyrotechnicians use computers to ignite fireworks from a safe distance and to synchronize their bursts with music. Assembling explosives into fireworks is the job of the pyrotechnician. Even the tiniest spark of static electricity could set them off, so anti-static gloves are a must. A firework is made up of separate compartments within a shell. The burning fuse explodes one compartment at a time, creating those staggered bursts in the sky. The pyrotechnician first glues the main fuse into the bottom of the shell. The glue is naturally colorless. It's dyed blue so he can tell exactly where he's applying it. He puts the bottom aside to work on the second compartment of this two-compartment firework. He starts by spooning a powdered explosive into the center. Then he caps it. Here he's working on two fireworks at a time. Next step, a brown cardboard shock absorber to shield this compartment from the first compartment explosion. Then a corrugated cardboard disc and a plastic spacer. It'll take the fuse 1.5 seconds to burn through these two components, creating a slight delay between the first explosion and the second. Gluing the second compartment together is tricky. If it's too tight, it'll stifle the explosion, but it has to be tight enough to withstand the delay. With the second compartment done, it's time to prepare the first. He glues a sleeve onto a case, then fills it with hundreds of stars. Stars are what create the flashes of color. They're carefully measured explosives mixed with coloring agents, such as magnesium for white, copper salts for blue, charcoal for orange. The pyrotechnician must handle them gingerly, or they could detonate. Next, he adds comets, another type of exploding decoration. He tops it off with gunpowder. Finally, he glues the two compartments together, filling the remaining space with the same combination of ingredients. Once the shell is full, he glues on the cover, and the tighter, the better. The more pressure that builds up, the bigger and more spectacular the explosion. Next, he wraps the firework in craft paper. The label uses international color codes to indicate the size of the shell. The lift charge, a gunpowder bag with a long, fast-action fuse, goes at the base of the shell. That's what'll send the firework into the sky. When they light the main fuse at the top, it simultaneously lights two secondary fuses. The time delay fuse running inside the shell through the compartments of explosives, and that long fuse running along the outside down to the lift charge at the base. Once the lift charge ignites, heat and gas build up inside the launch tube until they explode, propelling the firework up to 300 meters skyward. Let the light show begin. If you have any comments about the show, or if you'd like to suggest topics for future shows, drop us a line at www.howitismade.net.